To understand Robert Chambers's The Green Mouse, you have to imagine a world caught in a strange, dizzying transition. It's a world where the old-fashioned wonder of stage magic is being rapidly pushed aside by the cold, calculated promises of new technology. On one hand, you have the magician, the man who uses sleight of hand to create illusions. On the other, you have the scientist, the person who tries to use machines to uncover the hidden laws of the universe. Chambers takes these two worlds and weaves them together into a story that is part social satire, part romantic comedy, and part philosophical inquiry into whether we actually want to know if our soulmate is out there. The story begins with William, a man who has been dealt a very difficult hand by life. He was born into the right social class, a well-bred young man with a bright future. But his father's death has left him penniless. To survive, William has to do something that feels fundamentally beneath his upbringing. He becomes a professional magician. He spends his days performing illusions, using his natural charm and an uncanny ability to manipulate animals to earn a living. During this period of struggle, William has a chance encounter in a park. He sees a woman, an artist, in immediate danger from a runaway horse. He steps in, saves her, and the two of them share a moment of intense mutual intrigue. It's the kind of classic romantic setup you'd expect, but Chambers adds a layer of deception to it. As William prepares for a high-stakes debut performance, the woman discovers him again, and we learn that she isn't just a wandering artist. She is actually a wealthy socialite operating under a disguise. When she discovers his secret, that his magic is actually a bit of a con, using dyed mice to perform his illusions, she doesn't expose him as a fraud. Instead, she offers her support. This creates a bond between them built on shared secrets, a foundation of knowing the truth behind the performance. As the narrative moves forward, the setting shifts from the stage to the laboratory. William has moved on from being a mere performer. He has become an inventor. He has established a company called Green Mouse Limited. But he isn't selling tricks anymore, he is selling science. Specifically, he has developed a machine designed to detect what he calls psychic currents. The promise is incredible. The machine can guarantee romantic attraction between two people. It's a way to remove the guesswork, the heartbreak, and the uncertainty from courtship. The tension of the book really starts to build around this idea. During a high-stakes experiment, a skeptical woman named Saccharissa is tested by the machine. A blue flash occurs, a sign of a connection, but she claims she feels absolutely nothing. This sparks a massive debate within the story. Is this machine a genuine scientific breakthrough that can map the human soul? Or is it just a more sophisticated version of William's dyed mice? It asks a question that still feels very modern. If we could engineer love through technology, would it still be love? While the main plot focuses on William and the scientific implications of his machine, Chambers weaves in the surreal, almost absurd subplots of the Carr family. Sibylla Carr is a curious, somewhat rebellious teenager who lives in a house full of scientific tinkering. One day, she accidentally activates a prototype of her father's psychic wireless in his laboratory. The device sends out a single, random spark into the world. This spark leads to a meeting between Sibylla and a man named George. George is an interesting character because he represents a collision of worlds. He is a Harvard graduate, but he is working as a paper hanger. He is high intellect but working class in his daily reality. Their meeting is nothing short of farcical. In one scene, Sibylla finds herself physically glued to a library table by spilled paste. In the chaos and absurdity of the moment, she and George, believing their strange encounter is some kind of cosmic punishment or a sign of fate, engage in a mock marriage ceremony. But as the comedy fades, the feeling becomes genuine. Their connection is real, even if it started with a mistake. As the story progresses, the Carr family's business, Green Mouse Limited, evolves into a massive corporate entity. The D. Stein Carr wireless apparatus becomes a sensation. The men in the family become obsessed with the idea of controlling destiny. They see the financial potential in guaranteeing soulmates, turning the most private of human emotions into a commodity. The tension reaches a breaking point through the character of Mr. Carr, the patriarch of the family. He is a volatile, controlling man, and his obsession with control eventually leads to his own undoing. In an attempt to use the apparatus to spy on his daughter's suitor, Mr. Yates, the machine backfires. Instead of capturing the thoughts of others, it inadvertently captures Mr. Carr's own psychic waves. The result is a sudden, inexplicable shift in his personality. He loses his dignity and becomes a jaunty, frivolous man, driven by sudden, uncontrollable impulses, even finding himself attracted to a local maid. It's a moment of profound irony. The man who wanted to use science to control the emotions of others ends up losing control of himself. By the final movement of the book, the Destined car machine has fundamentally changed society. It has been so successful that there is now a nationwide marriage craze. The machine has removed all doubt from courtship. People no longer have to wonder if they love someone or if they will be happy, the machine tells them. The uncertainty that defines human relationships has been engineered away. But Chambers doesn't end the story with this technological perfection. Instead, he offers a rejection of it. The climax centers on Flavilla Carr. While the rest of the world is embracing the sterile certainty of the machine, Flavilla refuses to let a device dictate her heart. She wants the hazard of traditional, unpredictable romance. In a final, symbolic scene during a water festival, Flavilla dresses as a Lorelei, a mythical sea siren, and lures a man into the sea. It is a dangerous, unpredictable, and potentially disastrous act. But it is her choice. She chooses a life of potential mistakes, passion, and genuine risk over the safe, calculated, and hollow certainty of a machine-guaranteed life. When we look back at the themes of The Green Mouse, several layers of meaning emerge. The most obvious is the conflict between determinism and free will. The machine represents a deterministic universe where our paths are already mapped out by psychic currents. If the machine is right, we are just biological machines responding to signals. But Flavilla's choice suggests that the essence of being human lies in our ability to err, to be surprised, and to choose the unknown. There is also a sharp satire of the pseudoscience and spiritualism that was so prevalent during the era in which Chambers was writing. The psychic wireless and the psychic currents are clearly nods to the many scientific attempts of the time to prove the existence of spirits or telepathy. By turning these ideas into a massive, profit-driven corporation, Chambers is critiquing the way society tries to commercialize the intangible parts of the human experience. We also see a recurring theme of social class and performance. Throughout the book, characters are constantly playing roles. William plays the gentleman, then the magician, then the scientist. George plays the laborer despite his education. Even the machine itself is a kind of performance, a trick designed to look like science. Chambers seems to be suggesting that much of what we call social standing or identity is just a series of well-executed illusions. Even the title, The Green Mouse, serves as a metaphor. In magic, a green mouse is a classic example of something that is impossible or a total trick, a way of describing something that is a hoax or an elusive goal. It represents the pursuit of perfection that is ultimately deceptive. We think we are chasing the truth of love or the truth of science, but we might just be chasing a colored mouse, a clever illusion designed to keep us paying for the show. In the end, the book is a celebration of human uncertainty. It suggests that the hazard of love, the risk of being hurt, the possibility of being wrong, the chaos of a spontaneous connection is exactly what makes life worth living. A world without the possibility of error is a world without the possibility of true passion. Chambers leaves us with the idea that while science can explain much of our world, it can never truly capture the unpredictable, messy, and beautiful reality of the human heart.